and welcome back. So this is the second part of the Soul Drinkers video series that I've been doing. In this video I'm going to be showcasing the Soul Drinker Terminator Captain model that I finished recently, and I also thought it would be a good opportunity to do a stage by stage painting guide as well. So basically this is the finished model. It's a quite old lead Terminator model that I've had kicking around in my collection for quite a bit of time, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to paint it up in the Soul Drinkers, add a few additional bits and pieces, but essentially it's the standard model really. But I thought it'd be a good opportunity to paint him in the Soul Drinkers colour. So I've got a nice Terminator Captain to lead the Terminators that I've been putting together recently. So yeah, basically this is the finished model. I've based him up on a little bit of slate, which I've painted as well, and based up the grass and a bit of tuft there as well. So yeah, basically this is sort of the end result really. I've played around with freehanding the chapter symbol on the side, but I think I'm sort of playing around with the idea of maybe doing some green stuff, push molds for the shoulder pads and stuff to try and make the chapter badge look a little bit more impressive, because my freehand isn't the best. So yeah, look out for that in the future, guys. Really, I'll see if I can do something about that. So yeah, basically what I'll do is I'm going to stop the video here, and then I'll run through the stage by stage paint guide, and then I'll come back for the sort of final sign off. See you in a minute, guys. Hi and welcome back. So today I'm just going to run through my painting guide really for the Soul Drinkers. I was trying to really sort of run through my sort of step by step really of what I did, and yeah, so I'm just going to run through a step-by-step guide on how I painted the Soul Drinker Terminators, and how let's start. Well, we'll start off with the painting guide of how I painted the Soul Drinkers Terminator Captain. As you can see from the first picture, this is the raw model that I put together. It's an old lead Terminator Captain which had been cleaned up, and I reassembled and then added a few extra things like the eagle above the head, and also the shield to the front there as well. So this is the basic model before I did anything with it. You can also see I've used little bits of liquid green stuff to fill in any little gaps, or smooth out some of the gaps and stuff across the model. It's useful just to use liquid green stuff just to smooth those joints through and get better connections, or if you've got any holes or stuff in the model, it's useful to use green stuff to fill those bits and pieces in. So yeah, basically this is the model before I did anything, and you can see there it's the old Terminator models used to come on 25mm bases, so I just glued on a temporary 25mm slotter base on there so that it could be mounted onto the painting stand, so it's easier for painting purposes. And then obviously you can see from the final model that I actually took that off and did a decorative base there as well. So yeah, so that's the first stage there. Basically it's just preparing the model, cleaning it up and so on, getting ready for it. Then the next stage, I basically did a black undercoat all over the model, the black undercoat was painted on with Abaddon black. With just single models and stuff like that, I tend to paint on the undercoat with by brush rather than spray can, because I find you actually get a better result, and it's easier, and it's not weather dependent on stuff when you go out and spray the model and stuff. With the lead model, it is very important to undercoat it properly, because because of the metalwork. Otherwise the paint won't properly go on there, and you won't get a consistent colour. So yeah, basically the black undercoat was done first. Then basically after that I did a coat of Xenox purple all the way across the model, apart from the sword there, because I didn't really think that I needed to paint the sword, so I just left the sword as it was. But I tend to, when I do my models, I tend to do an all over coat of the base colour of the model, all over, just to give it another layer really. Obviously it's a thin layer, but it's another layer all over the model there, just to get a good covering, and make sure I don't miss anything and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the next stage with the Zero Purple. Then from there I then added a blue wash all over the model again. The blue wash would then changes the dynamic of the purple, taking it down to a slightly different colour, which I prefer for the Soul Drinkers, being this sort of bluey purple colour rather than straight purple, which I feel they come out much better with that colour. So yeah, basically I did a wash. I probably did two all over washes of the blue to get the colour down to what it needed to be. Obviously again I'm missing the sword and so on there, but essentially that's that stage. Then the next stage was to do the lighter colours of the model, so basically the robes and a bit of the Terminator sign and so on, bits that I know are going to be a light colour. So I've done that with a coat of Screaming Skull, and then shaded it down with Agrax Earthshade, with the colours there to bring it down. One bit that I've sort of forgot to mention is on the previous one is that I actually dry brushed a bit of silver onto all the metal parts and the joints of the model, which you can see on there. You can see on the feet of the model, and the storm bolter. You can see the colours there have been tidied up with Abaddon black first, and then highlighted with the silver on the storm bolters and stuff like that, which is I sort of tend to do at this stage as well. And I think I've highlighted a little bit of the bottom part of the sword as well, with the silver. So and then the face of the captain, I've painted it also with the Screaming Skull colour, but then actually put a Ricklin flesh wash on over the skin of the face and so on, to actually give it a more flesh colour on there as well. So some of the details are starting to be picked up on those, and a bit of detail around the mouth guard and stuff on there. So it's a little bit of progress from the previous stage. Then the next stage here, this was all done in the same day, so some of the colour areas, colour definition is changing as the light conditions are changing as the day's going on. Essentially in this phase, I've added the gold sections to the model, which you can see obviously moves the model on quite a way. It's the basic gold. I just can't remember the name for a second there. But then the gold is then washed down with Rickland flesh shade as well, to give it some depth as well through the model. I also completed the power sword as well at this stage, so essentially that is just a couple of different gradations of blue, and then a light dry brush with whites and different blues and whites, culminating with I think it's Screaming Skull with the last highlight on the sword there. But essentially at this stage the sword is basically done. There's a few more washes. I probably did another wash on the captain's face and so on, but you can see obviously the model is progressing at this stage. And then basically we're almost there really. I at this stage highlighted the gold with a lighter gold on there, to bring up the gold colours as well, obviously keeping the darker bits dark and so on, but you can see obviously the difference between this stage and then the previous stage. Some highlighting on there. I also had a go at freehanding the Soul Drinkers chapter symbol onto the front shield on there, which came out reasonably well. It may in the future look at doing some green stuff, chalices and stuff for the future, possibly, so at which stage I would then obviously just paint over this one and then obviously apply it on, but it's near enough there now. Basically this stage here is just some additional highlights on there. I think some of the hair on the top of the captain's head's been highlighted, a few more highlights on the gold. Stormbolter's been highlighted a little bit on there as well. Power sword's been highlighted bits and pieces, so yeah, it's getting near the end now. And then so at this stage sort of the model is essentially done. So at this stage I've looked at doing the base. So I got hold of a 40mm base, and then I got a nice piece of slate and super glued that onto the base there for a nice base position sorted on there, which is really good. So yeah, basically that's the beginning of the base. I then painted over the slate with a base color of Rickland. What's that one called? Sorry, can't remember the color. I think it's like Rickland Earthshade or something. Can't remember for a second which one. No, sorry, Flayed One Flesh as a base color, which is quite nice. So that's basically the first base colour on that through. Then did a heavy wash with Agrax Earthshade on top of that to give it some nice little definition. And then the next stage is then a highlight on that to give it some more definition as well. I think I used Screaming Skull as the highlight for this as well, so that's pretty cool to give the final thing. Then I painted the rest of the base. I tend to do all my bases obviously to be the same colour as the rest of the other Terminators and so on. So in a situation like this, I painted the whole base rather than just the rims to give it a nice consistent colour. And then basically we've got our final captain, mounted the captain onto the base, and also added some grass and some tufts to the base there as well. And that is basically the sort of stage by stage sort of finish of the model really. Yeah, so that was essentially my sort of step-by-step guide of how I paint my soul drinkers and how I intend to paint them going forward as well. So thank you there, and I'll go back to I'll finish this section and go back to the other section now. Hi and welcome back. I hope that stage by stage paint guide was helpful to some people out there. It's I find it, if there's an interest in paint schemes and stuff, it's always interesting to get a stage by stage, really, if you like to sort of reproduce what's going on and so on. But yeah, I thought this would be a good opportunity really to do that. So yeah, basically that's it for this video. Yeah, just the last things really. Yeah, if you like my content, please like and make comments on the video, and also if you do enjoy my videos and stuff, please hit the subscribe button. Okay guys, I will catch up with you in the future. Thanks guys, bye.